Welcome to this week's episode of your Midweek Move, where each move we take one of my favorite core strengthening exercises and break it down to show you how to do it safely and effectively. So this week's going to be a little bit different. I want to talk about the gift that keeps on giving, and that is squats, deep squats. So not just air squats where you're squatting down and coming back up, but deep squats where you're sitting down into a deep, deep squat. Now this is a great natural position that people have been doing for, millions of years, but people now often look at me when I'm doing this and they say, how can you do that? That is crazy. But really it just requires practice, working on some flexibility and strength of the core and leg muscles. So I'm going to show you how to get down to this position, and this, why I call it the gift that keeps on giving, is squats, so air squats too, where you're doing squats. Those are fantastic for not only helping you have nice strong legs, awesome perky booty, strong core and hip muscles, but they also help protect you in the long run. And so many times we don't always think about the future as far into the future. But squats will keep those muscles strong so that you can continue to sit back into your chair, get up out of your chair, do things, squat down to pick things up, and take care of yourself into your old age so that you don't have to, move into a place where you need help. So you can stay on your own for longer. So you can prevent falls. So you're strong through the core and hips. Again, falls are a leading cause of hospitalization and going into nursing care. So I just think that the more you can work on this stuff now, your core, your hip, your leg strength, the stronger you're going to be, the safer you're going to be, and the more independent you're going to be into old age. It really is important to think about. So let's start with this squat. Again, just a positional squat, just a deep squat. So this is something you can do when you are doing laundry, when you're watching TV, when you are, annoyed because your kid has left junk on the floor. Hey, use it as an opportunity to get down into a squat, use those legs, use the core muscles, and pick it up and put it away. Again, reframe things to think of it as an opportunity to work on your strength rather than just a hassle. So let's talk about getting down into this position. So you do have to have sufficiently long calf muscles, quads, and strong back and core and hips. So this does take time. But a good way to get started is to actually use, this is a little tippy, but for demonstration purposes, it's what I have. To use something like a countertop or a solid back of your couch or window ledge or something, the back of maybe a heavier chair than this, but something to hold on to as you start sitting back. And I'm not talking about, I'm sitting back. No, I'm talking about sitting way back. Sitting as if your bottom has eyeballs on it, and those eyeballs are looking for a bench that's way behind you. So sitting way back. Now, this in itself is a great strengthener for the quads. You can actually put something behind you, maybe an ottoman or a couple cushions stacked up so you can actually sit onto something and be using your muscles but also resting. So that, just holding it for 30 seconds, maybe up to a minute, is awesome. Now, another step you can do is put a rolled yoga mat behind your thighs. Gives you something to kind of sit on. It's a good way to do it. You can have your heels off the ground, because a lot of times that is the problem, is your heel cords are tight. And so you can have your heels off the ground, you can have your hands on the ground. You can hang out right here. You can also put something underneath your heels. So you can still use this, or I'm going to remove it. But you can put yoga blocks underneath your heels and start working toward this nice straight position of your spine. You don't want your legs way out wide like this, but they can come out a little bit. You want to work on lifting your chest and keeping your spine straight and breathing. So just stepwise coming lower and lower and working toward the point where hopefully you can start putting your heels on the ground. Again, you can always have your hands on the ground for support. You can have them beside you, even behind you, although that's going to tip your body. You're going to feel like you're going to fall backward, and you might. So I would try to stay more upright if you can, but you want to work toward this position right here. So the stepwise process we talked about as far as getting down into the position is starting here, maybe holding on to something stable, more stable than this, maybe sitting on something behind you, and then you can also try putting a yoga mat behind your thighs with your feet flat on the ground or up. You can remove this, you can put your feet on something. If you have tight heel cords, just work on keeping that spine nice and straight, and then slowly by slowly get to the point where you can be in this position. You know, at some point this will probably feel comfortable for you to be in this position, and it is a natural strengthener for your back, your pelvic floor, your hips, your legs. You're going to feel this everywhere in a good way. And again, it's going to keep you, potentially keep you independent for longer, to have these muscles be nice and strong. It's going to help again with your core strength, your balance, your stability, and your long-term health and independence. So the squat is an amazing gift that keeps on giving. So please practice it, and if you love to squat, spread the word, and be sure to share this video with your friends. And of course, also, as always, subscribe to our newsletter so you never miss an episode of your Midweek Move. Thanks for watching.